Hey, what is going on, you guys? Today on the bench, I've got some cool upgrades here for my Axial UTB. This is one beautiful looker of a truck right here. So we're gonna go ahead and upgrading it with some cool things that we got in the mail here from CCxRC. So these wheels are 1.7 comp cut wheels right here, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And they're made to fit this and look super fantastic, just like they do here. So these are their comp cut UTB18s. They have clearance for their portals, and they're SLW compatible. So you do not get your hubs in here. You have to order them on your own. But man, the machining on these things is absolutely gorgeous. I want to leave it here in the light, so I'm going to zoom in and just show you guys. Man, so crisp, so clean. Absolutely stunning looking. So we've got these all set up in here, and then we've got all the nuts and bolts to get on with the project in there as well. But I ended up getting the Berserker tires. These are not what I intended to order on accident. They're Alien Compound. I meant to get the Rock Beast, but somehow I ordered wrong. But I also had to go on and get some SLW compatible hubs, so I went over to Vanquish and I got theirs, and while I was there, I ordered up their screw kits as well to be able to do the install. So should be good to go there. I was told that I was going to need to get some kind of a washer or something to put in after I install this, because the nut being smaller on these, so that's something that I'm going to have to do, is find a washer that'll fit in there and lock it all down in place. But that shouldn't be a big deal. I'm not too worried about that. Basically, what we've got now is a lot of screwing to do. So let's start screwing. I've actually got these single stage crawler innovation foams here. I'm thinking I might try them and see how they do in there. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But first things first, let's go ahead and open up one of these tires here and just see what we're dealing with. Pitbull. Just feel the difference before we move on. Oh yeah, it's definitely softer. I think we will do those on the front and see how that works out for us. And then we may get the firm ones for the rear to replace the stock ones. But we're definitely doing these in the front. Just shoving this whole thing in here. That way it'll still have a little bit of sidewall strength from the thickness of it, all bunched in there. Because once that clamps on the tire, it'll suck it in, but it'll be nice and soft. Oh my goodness. That's gonna look good. I think I'm gonna lock that right there. All right. Now so much screwing to do. Hopefully these will help hook and pull this thing up. Comp cut. Check this out. CCxRC comp cut 1.7 by 1 ET +3, made in the USA. Beautiful. I love how that is made right there. Inner ring, so your center ring has your actual meat and potatoes to it in there. It's not just an outer ring. I like it. Take a little stretch in here. These are 1.5s going on 1.7s. Here we go. And this one will stretch in as we align this guy. So, do the tick marks. And if you get a set of these, if you look inside, you'll see little score marks on the inside of the wheel, and then on the inside of this back bead, back ring. And if you just line those up, it'll line everything up for you. Then you can work on getting that bead adjusted and and that looks great. Front one pulled a little bit. So then what we're going to do is I'm just going to leave these all in here, and we're going to use that to just line it right up here. We'll set it down. They'll kind of fall into place for the most part, and then we'll just give it a quick hit all the way around. One thing to note, if you haven't installed these before, is that there are some of the screws that are longer, and that's where these little tab marks are and the little ticks are on here that I was talking about. And they line up with these smaller holes in here. You can see there's around the edges of it. So that's where you want the long screws to go, because that's where the relief cut is for the long screws to come through. We'll put in just 2 of them and then give you a quick visual of that. Got a lot going on my bench right now. So many projects. There we go. All right, here we go. Time to add all the screws. Whoops, and they went flying. I have a lot of these to do, so we'll get started, and then we'll come back after all of the wheels and tires have been added. So you can see the process here. It's a pretty simple one. All right, there it is. First wheel and tire installed. Looks like it's going to be pretty nice. Tire feels good. We'll see how it does on the rocks. We still need to add the hub insert here. So we've got these Vanquish. We're going to go ahead and install. And then we've got the Vanquish screws for these as well, which are a separate screw kit. These are $16.99 a pair, plus $6.99 for the screws. So yeah, you're looking at about $40 in SLW hubs this way, a little over. But you're not doing these because you're trying to be cheap. You're doing these because you want awesome, and that's what we're going for with this build here. Trying to make our Capra look amazing. All right, so these ones we're going to want a thread lock. So I need to grab some thread lock. All right, time to introduce another favorite product of mine, and that is this Vibratite thread locker gel. This stuff is awesome. So I've got a whole new toolkit up here in the studio as I'm trying to reorganize all of my studio and workspaces and different things. So I'm trying to have different toolkits in different places, so I'm ready to go. All right, so these look large, but it does not. It feels like they might be standard. And my standard tools are in a different kit that is not in here, so that's a bummer. But MIP, it's a rounded tip, kind of fit on there. They don't really. So I'm gonna have to find a little standard L wrench in my toolbox downstairs and go and tighten all these down. I'm gonna just go ahead and install them as is for now, as I'm doing, but it's not ideal. I have to remember to go back. When I go to get a washer, I will work on tightening these down. So there it is with all the shine. Looks good. So that pulled the front and the rear together. Those are definitely much firmer, which we knew they would be. The question is, how much firmer will we want them to be? We want that back to push the front down, so we're definitely okay with that being firmer. This one is not in. All right, next I'm going to do one of them with the stock foam because I'm curious what it's going to be like. So we'll see the difference before we go too much further. So much work goes into these wheels. They are Such a thing of beauty, you guys. I'm going to stretch the bead. So that pulled the front and the rear together. Those are definitely much firmer, which we knew they would be. The question is, how much firmer will we want them to be? We want that back to push the front down, so we're definitely okay with that. Now that's all tightened down. This is a nice softer front. Hopefully it'll conform to the rocks and grip. This one I'd like to do a little bit softer. I probably should have vented these tires. And I may... I may regret not doing it ahead of time. Well, we'll just use a heated tip and put a hole in it. Alright, we're going to keep moving forward. Alrighty, we've got one of them on there. I want to find one of the firm tires. Here we go. Put this on the back. I have a little screw kit right here, just random screws for RCs, and it has these perfect size washers in here. So I'm able to use these. Don't have to go digging around too far. So that's perfect right there. And it looks like I have 4 of them, so I'm going to be good to go. I already have one on, and the rest that I need. So I'll button this back up. That Collar Innovation foam in here, man, that has like the perfect squish to it. Just that little bit there, where this one's going to be really firm. The stock one doesn't even have quite the squish that this has. It looks so good. So first things we got to do, we got to just turn this off. Little cap that they've got on here. We'll take our 5.5 millimeter ProTech wrench. That's it. Put our firm, that's not our firm one. Here's a firm one on the back. Like so. Slide it on there nice and good. Take one of our washers, slide it on there. Makes the perfect spot for this nut to bite onto. And we'll be good to go. Definitely a firm rear tire. I think that might be a good mix though, between the two. But boy, how good does that look? I love it, especially when that's sitting down like that. There's a little shock bump in there we could remove if we wanted to. Let it sit even lower. I really like this Capra. For those of you that haven't seen the videos and know, I think it's a really fantastic. I wasn't sure about it, so I need to start with that caveat. I was skeptical, and it very quickly turned me into a believer after running it. I fell in love with it, and I think what I liked about it was I really liked my Capra, but I can't run it anywhere because it's too good, and it doesn't make it, some of the courses that we run on, feel challenging. So this allows you to run on a 1/10 course as an 18th scale or 14th scale or whatever you want to call it, and it actually makes those courses a good challenge. So it sits in there at a, kind of the perfect capability, whereas the other one was almost too good. And I think this is going to even take it up another notch. As long as these tires grip onto stuff, which they feel really sticky, we should be good. These are the Alien compound, and these are usually pretty good. So if they're not, I'll switch them out for the Rock Beast is what I wanted. We'll try those. I was confused when I was looking at them. There was 2 different versions of it. There's like a KOR or something like that, or XOR Rock Beast, and then there was another one. And I wanted the smaller set, which was not the one with the extra letters after it. And somehow I just ended up ordering Berserkers instead. So I don't know what I did. But in all of my research and then going back and getting them, I got the wrong ones. So I picked these up at Horizon Hobby because I'm one of their elite members. I have the membership, and they're able to get to me in 2 days. So I knew I had these tires on the way, and these need to be vented. I think venting these will take it to the next level. I think also just working them in that foam a little bit, but I think the key thing will be, because there's squish that it wants in there, and you can definitely see it in the front one, but it's got a little squish. Not a lot, but I think venting it will help. The front one definitely has enough. I don't think I actually want to vent the front ones more. So, but man, that looks amazing to me. So we'll have to get this up on the course here this week and see how it does, you guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I think it's definitely an upgrade from stock without going overkill. So it feels like the right size combo for this as an aftermarket upgrade. So good job to CCxRC with these beautiful wheels, 1.7 comp cuts. They fit over the portals. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic look. The width of it feels good, the track width there. So we'll get it on. Does add some more weight to it down low, which is nice as well. But we'll be putting these up on the shelf, figuring out what we're going to do with them, use them as some kind of an obstacle or something. I like the green. They could be markers on a course. Or if we decide to sell this at some point. Or if I get the Fox version of it and switch these over to that, we'll do that. But I think, if anything, I'll probably get clear body panels. I like this paint scheme to a degree. I just wish that Axial, they do the green stuff for a lot of theirs. I wish they'd go a little bit heavier with the green. They go heavy like with the orange on the front of the Fox body, but this one is very just kind of subtle lines and stuff. I think the hood could have used a big green. It's an awesome green color. I just feel like it could have been, you know, stand out that way. But that's just me. Everybody has their own design aesthetic. I'm not calling them out or anything about that. That's just what I wish. So I may even leave all these other panels, but do something else on the front and make it a little bit more bold with a little bit of green flare there up front. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. As always, you guys, have fun RCing, and we will catch you next time.